Kia ora te whānau, nau mai haere mai, nau mai hoki mai ki te whakataitai Ngāti Porou o te Bay of Plenty Youth Development Cup here in Rotorua. There it is, whānau, the East Coast haka, Ngāti Porou East Coast versus the Eastern Bay of Plenty, the neighbours just down the road. Really looking forward to this one here at the Youth Development Cup in Rotorua. My name is Regan Williams and I'm here with Pat Ray, and we are about to commentate this big encounter between these two teams, neighbours just up the road, Ngāti Porou East Coast and the Eastern Bay of Plenty under 16s. What do you think will happen in this game, Pat?
Yeah, pretty excited for this match, to be honest. Two neighbours. Congratulations to Leroy Kirarangi, Ngāti Porou East Coast CEO, for ditching the Hurricanes and joining the Chiefs. Makes it easier to invite Ngāti Porou East Coast teams to events that are happening in the Chiefs territory. So, ka pai hoa, really excited for this match, and it's great to have our Ngāti Porou East Coast brothers and sisters from down the coast participating in our events.
Oh, it's awesome to see them back. Pat, they were here a couple of years ago, involved in this tournament, and just like you said, it's good to have them as part of the Chiefs region. So exciting to see what they have down the coast to bring to the Chiefs region, because there have been some awesome players who are from that area, and I'm sure there's going to be a couple in this under-16 team that we're going to see today.
Yeah, and referee for this match all the way from Pukekohe, Counties Manukau, Bradley Van Thiel. So welcome, Bradley, to the sunny Bay of Plenty.
Brilliant to have him here today. I think he's made the travel to come down just for the tournament. Is that right?
There's a small core group of referees who are staying for the 2 nights, and they get an opportunity to be developed. There's a couple of referee coaches in with them as well, so they'll get hold of the footage this afternoon. They'll go back to their hotel, they'll analyse their performance, pluck out 1 or 2 things that they can do better for tomorrow, and just like the players, they'll look to fix some of their work-ons. But, you come to tournaments like this, it's like going from Saturday to Saturday to Saturday, but you get to do 4 Saturdays in 2 days, as opposed to having a 7-day break between practices.
Oh, that's awesome, mate. That's where you learn best, mate, on the field. So great to have him here and the rest of the referees, because without you guys there won't be a game. So really appreciate your support. We also need to thank our sponsors, One Foundation, local Gecko production, and the Bay of Plenty Rugby Union, and also the Central Bay of Plenty Rugby Union, who have helped us along the way. So without you guys as well, your support, this tournament wouldn't be able to actually go ahead. And you would have, if you were watching earlier, you would have heard Pat Ray talk about the development of this tournament and how it happened. So if you just want to just give us another quick explanation around that, Pat, that'll be awesome for our new viewers.
Yeah, so the tournament came after COVID, when we all came out of that horrible period of time where we were locked in our houses for a while. We were given a free range to develop a new pathway system. So this was devised off the back of a napkin at a cafe to create a pathway particularly for our co-ed schools and for the boys and girls that don't go to the schools that are already in the traditional pathway. So this is a prime opportunity for them to get an opportunity to shine in the sun.
Awesome. All right, here we go, whānau. Ngāti Porou with the ball. Looks like they've held the ball for a few phases here. And looks like that tackler didn't roll away after he had made the tackle. Referees decided to give a penalty to Ngāti Porou early on in the game. A little bit hard to see their numbers on the back of their jerseys, whānau, but we'll try our best to let you know who it is with the ball. And kick doesn't go out. Taken in by the Central Bay of Plenty on the far side there.
God, it's virtually impossible to pick up those numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually.
This big Blake Shipton carrying that ball into contact.
Good defence by the East Coast. Goes back to the fullback for the Eastern Bay. Kicks it down. Well taken by the fullback from the Coast. Turned over though by number 6, Te Rehita Tāputu. Coasties are going over the ball and off their feet. Referee gives a penalty to the East Coast. To the Eastern Bay.
At number 15 for Ngāti Porou East Coast, a famous surname, Nipia.
Very famous surname.
No doubt he's a great grandchild.
Whānau somewhere along the line, I'm sure. Look like they've got some good structure, the Ngāti Porou East Coast team. Earlier on, their first few phases, they did have a few big runners and then looked to go out wide with their backs. Yeah, excellent work over the top there by Te Mawhai Stewart, number 3 for the Eastern Bay of Plenty. Just got right over the player onto the ball. Managed to force the penalty, but they've chosen to go with the scrum.
Always a danger when you win that collision and the contact, that if you haven't got anybody up your backside, as you see here, he carries that ball into contact. He's all on his own when he goes to ground, and there's just a little bit of a window of daylight showing, and those jacklers get in there quick, smart.
Yeah, and they talk about if you take the ball into contact, to try and stay on your feet as long as you can, just till that support player does get there and latches onto you, just so that you can seal that ball. Beautiful day for it though, Pat.
Oh, wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Nice green grass, solid field. We were here last week with the Ty Mitchell, and the fields were atrocious. And I think they played on them in the weekend with a league tournament, and I don't think that helps it either.
So that's what rugby fields are for, right? That's not for growing grass.
Right, just a couple of technical dramas within the scrum there. Referees trying to help them out, have a chat to the front rows, let them know what they need to do a little bit better. Nice play here by the Eastern Bay backs. Good carry by that centre. Nice quick ball out to the edge. Good heads-up play there by the number 11 from the Eastern Bay, Dwayne Peterson Amador. Penalty there to the Eastern Bay. Looks like the Coasties were offside. Quick tap by the halfback. Great carry, gets over the line. I think it might have been the number 1. Blake Shipton, he's a big boy, isn't he? Under 16. Huge.
Towers over that referee. Yeah, no, very well constructed try there. Very simple, nothing too complicated.
If we go back to the replay, hopefully we see what the winger does there. You know, he was right out on the sideline. Decided to cut in, keep the ball in field. There it is there. Another good carry. Referee sees a bit of an offside infringement there. Quick penalty. Gives it to the big man, Shipton. He'll go over. 5 points to 0 to the Eastern Bay of Plenty side. Kick to come. Kick successful by the number 10, Te Rangi Hiroa Mairu. Apologies, whānau, if there are some inconsistencies around the names. Some of the writing is a little bit hard to read. All right. We do have this is a 2-day tournament, whānau, so make sure you come along if you get a chance. All the games today will be televised on live stream on Field 1 with commentating. On Field 2 they are live streamed, however there is no commentating. And all the boys games are on Field 1 today, and all the girls games are on Field 1 tomorrow. So just a heads up for that, but you know, if you are within the area, come down, have a look, support the local kai stalls. Eastern Bay here with the ball. Nice pass here by the halfback out to the big runner. We do have one off runners here. Good carry by the number 16. Not sure of his name, sorry. We'll try and get that as soon as we can. Excellent kick down there. Downfield though. Kobe Vaianuku, number 16. Good kick there. Eastern Bay of Plenty's, East Coast throw the ball in. A little bit confusing, the East Coast and the Eastern Bay of Plenty, so sometimes it can get a little bit of a tongue twister.
And there's a good example of the not straight new interpretation. Both teams contested for the ball. The ball was clearly thrown in not straight by Ngāti Porou East Coast, so therefore Eastern Bay get the free kick.
Nice big carry there by Tane Anapu Burke. Good strength shown there by the Eastern Bay forwards. Out to the big prop, Te Mawhai Stewart. Still going. What a try there by Te Mawhai Stewart. Showed great determination there. Excellent try.
You have a look when we have a look at that on the replay. He gets the ball from this pass here. He's a good 10, 15 metres out, and by the end of tomorrow, it'll be 90 metres that he's run to score that try.
I'll be telling the boys, did you see that? 3, 4, 5 tacklers I broke through. Ran 80 metres. Excellent try, though, by Te Mawhai Stewart. Good continuity shown there by the Eastern Bay of Plenty. They had the ball in their own half, kicked it down. Won the line out, we got the free kick, and then just gave it to the big man, Te Mawhai Stewart. Kick to come from young Mairu. Kick successful, takes the score out to 14 points to 0 to the Eastern Bay of Plenty side, hoping that the Ngāti Porou East Coast can get back into the game with the next scoring opportunity.
Just a comment on that new line-out interpretation now. If you don't put anybody up and you're the defending side, the opposition can easily just throw it straight down the line for an easy win, because we'll play away from those. So what it does is it forces non-throwing teams to have to contest. If you don't contest in the air, they'll win it on the ground. That's what they'll be trying to do.
So if they don't contest in the air, it's a free kick.
It's a play on. So you can throw it crooked on purpose, but you run the risk, right?
Yeah. Good carry into the ruck there by number 11, Peterson Amaroa. Another good carry up the middle. Swing the ball right across to the far right edge. Knock on there though by the Eastern Bay. Good defence coming in from the East Coast out on the edge there. Interesting to see they had their blindside flanker, the number 6, right outside on the edge. Te Rehita Tāputu. Here it goes here. Just a bit of a loose carry. Good defence by the East Coast. You would have seen he swung around and knocked his arm, causing the knock on.
Gee, that's a big scrum for under 16s, isn't it? Is it me?
That's not you. The kids these days are a lot bigger and a lot stronger. Rugby's a different game from back in the heyday. Nice little carry forward by the first 5 from the Ngāti Porou side. Knock on here. Referee looks like he's called that a head high. Has to be under the chest, is that right, Pat?
Yeah, first point of contact for first tackler is below the sternum. Second tackler is allowed to be below the line of the armpits. If they hit simultaneously, she becomes a 50-50.
Are the armpits higher than the sternum?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a tough one to judge, mate.
It is. And what we're looking for is we want the first tackler at least to dip at the hips. Yeah. It's to avoid the head-on-head contact. That's all we're looking for.
Here it is here. This, the ref calls that a bit of a head high. Yeah. Ref decision, though. It's only one ref, and they do a great job out there. The East Coast will want to secure this line out, try and score as quick as they can. Keep them in the game. Just unlucky there. Ref saying that the Eastern Bay of Plenty might have went up too early. Pep?
Yeah, I think if we have a look at the hooker, I think he might have thrown a double pump, which is what caused the early jump.
Yep. That's still a rule, eh? If you jump too early,
yeah,
free kick to the other team.
You'd probably manage that first.
Yeah.
I'd be looking at the hooker first. That's what caused the early jump. Yeah, free kick. He's kicked it out on the full. We're back to where we go. Here we go. There's the pump. Yeah. Caused the early jump. So the free kick probably should have gone the other way. Never mind.
Might have been a bit of a misunderstanding there, but...
The rugby god smiled. He kicked it out on the full and Eastern Bay get the throw in.
Big carry there by the number 18 from the Eastern Bay. Anapu Burke. There we go. There's the backs. Exciting players. Flicked in by the number 15, Shea Collier.
Another famous Eastern Bay name.
Certainly is, the Colliers. Big carry there by Stewart, the try scorer. Nice out the back there. Big step there by the number 10. He's having a good game. Mairu's steering the ship, isn't he?
Doing very well.
They've got a bit of a combination, the 18 and the 3 for the Eastern Bay of Plenty.
I wonder if they go to the same school.
Yeah. 18's tipped it off to the 3 a couple of times. Anapu Burke. Good solid defence coming in from the Eastern Bay. Go wide. Oh. Nice footwork there by Shea Collier. 2 or 3 players to evade there and manage to just stay on his feet.
Once again, though, good sustained pressure on the goal line by Eastern Bay. Maintain possession. We're very patient. And once their attacking strategy had sucked some East Coast players into towards the middle, they go edged, hit the edge, and find the hole. And Shea Collier's across unopposed.
Yeah, the Collier name is very famous down in the Eastern Bay of Plenty, like you said. So shout out to all the whānau down there. Hopefully you're watching your whānau or your mokopuna on the live stream, and we just want to thank Local Gecko for the live stream and the opportunity for whānau across the world and around the motu, the opportunity to watch this game live, if not live later on.
You know you're getting old when your mates, mokos, are playing, eh?
That's right, mate.
A few years ago we were talking about our kids playing, now it's our mokos.
Nice try there on the replay by young Collier. Eastern Bay lead. First half. Ngāti Porou just taking their time to bring the ball up to halfway. Just hoping their time goes by for the first half so they can regather for that second half.
Maybe they need to be introduced to some hemi mullahs.
19 points to 0. Taken in there well by the Bay, Eastern Bay.
Yeah, I thought I saw a leg go flying in the air. That was a little bit ugly.
Yeah. Referee's not happy. Gives a penalty to the Eastern Bay of Plenty. Ngāti Porou want to keep their discipline just for these last couple of minutes in this first half. Just get through it, hopefully score a try, get back in the game. Eastern Bay, though, when they have the ball, they do have some good continuity. Excellent line out off the top from the open side. Olsen. Good defence there. Coming in from the East Coast. Oh, this might have been a little bit unlucky there. Another carry there by the number 12, 1-0. Terihi to 1-0. There he is, the try scorer. Both try scorers goes backwards though.
Yeah, no advantage from that initial infringement at the breakdown. The tackler not releasing.
Eastern Bay decided to take a scrum.
Yeah, and why not? Their attack's working really well.
Yep, middle of the field. They do have a few options though. If there's a penalty, whānau, they can have a call for a scrum, go for line, go for a shot at goal. These guys have decided to go for the scrum. Quite possibly could be the last play of the game. 8-9, Pat.
Yep.
Or 8-8.
Or 8-8. 8-14, 8-11.
Good long pass, excellent hands there by the winger, Peterson Amaroi. He's had a good first half out there on that edge. There he is, young Stewart. He's had a great first half. Huge tackle coming in there from the number 3, Rawiri Wharehinga.
Oh, he's put that one down. He's disappointed with himself too as he slams that ball into the ground.
There we go, half-time whānau score, Eastern Bay 19, East Coast 0. Eastern Bay team had a really strong first half, didn't they, Pat?
Yep, playing well as a unit. Got good structure. They got some big boys in some key positions, which is giving them some good go-forward ball. which means that the Ngāti Porou East Coast players are sitting on their heels come defensive line time.
Yeah, I think the coaches might have a little chat to the East Coast team just around their discipline as well. But we'll see how the second half goes, Whānau, in a few minutes, and we'll be back.
Taking on the Western Bay under 18 boys. And on field 2, Eastern Bay taking on Western Bay. Reminder to managers to make sure that your teams are field side at the 25.
Kia ora te whānau, and welcome back to the big game here at Westbrook Stadium or Westbrook Fields between Ngāti Porou East Coast and Eastern Bay of Plenty, under 16 boys. Eastern Bay had a really good first half. Just hoping that the Ngāti Porou boys can manage their discipline in the second half and have a few more opportunities to attack the Eastern Bay side. Just want to have a bit of a shout out here to young Harlem King Hazel from the Eastern Bay of Plenty side. Just had a message from his cousin, or his auntie, Stacey Jacob. She said if you score a try, you'll get a $50 from her, mate, so go hard.
Well, you can fall into a trap when you start doing that.
It cost me at the Ty Mitchell tournament. My niece was playing. I said, if you get on and get a try, you get $20. Sure enough, on try. Here we go, Eastern Bay on the far edge. Got good footwork, this fullback Collier. Refs having a chat to one of the Eastern Bay of Plenty players here. Scrum. Scrum to the East Coast, I think. Here's the replay here. Good solid hit coming in from one of the coasties there. Number 17, he actually might have hurt his shoulder. Marcus Tawairua Leilua. Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, he's been subbed off. It's always sad at these events to cop an injury.
Yeah, it was a good tackle too, but probably didn't hold his strength, I'd say. Just waiting for the reserve player to run on for the East Coast side. Just a huge shout out to the East Coast team for coming all this way to plan this tournament, and you know, good to hear that you're part of the Chiefs now. We also want to shout out to some of our other sponsors that we do have: Roommate Cabins, Kim Wash, and Fresh Max. So thanks for your sponsorship, guys. Really appreciate it. Big carry there by the Eastern Bay of Plenty side. Quick penalty. Referee decides no, come back to the mark. So Eastern Bay side looking quite sharp at the start of the second half, Pat.
Yes. Yeah, they've started exactly how they finished at the end of the first half. Absolutely fizzing. The coaches probably only had one or two things to say to them in the halftime huddle. More of the same, only more. And there was an example of the throw was not straight, but Ngāti Porou East Coast didn't contest, so we play on.
Oh, that's an interesting rule.
It's also a risk that you take, especially if you don't contest on a 5 metre throw, right? But they might be choosing to contest on the ground rather than in the air.
Yeah. Here we go, Eastern Bay attacking the Ngāti Porou try line here. Big tackle coming in from the coastie. Nice little carry there by number 9, Tamanui Hale. Another carry by Te Rehita Taputu. Nice long pass out to the winger here, number 22, Omaru Poihipi. Defence is up to it though. It's like the way they're latching on the Eastern Bay of Plenty side, Pat.
Yeah, they're doing really well at ball security. Their ball carrier is working hard to stay on his feet until his support players come around him. That's where they're able to hang on to possession for such long periods of time.
Good little footwork there by the 12. There he is again, Shea Collier nearly got on the outside. Just unlucky there. Foot goes out. Gives the ball back to the Ngāti Porou East Coast boys. Here we go. Big jump by the Coasties. Managed to win their line out. Big clearance kick by the East Coast 15. Whariti Mana Nipia. Good pick up on the run there by one of the Eastern Bay boys. Just sealed it nicely. Good turnover here for the East Coast. Big run up the middle. Little bit of go forward ball. Big, massive run there by the big boy from the coast. Bit of a sly kick down there by Inuka Nuku, the hooker. Bounce to the ball. Yeah, good turnover here by the East Coast boys. There he is. What a try. Excellent try there by Inuka Nuku. I think he was the one who actually put the kick down too, Pat.
Yeah, well done, young man. Big hooker puts in a little chip kick. One of his teammates pounces on the ball. There's a good turnover here. As you can see here in the replay, he puts in a kick across the field. And as the rugby gods always do, the poor defender gets a gnarly bounce. It's stolen. And then who's the man on the spot? Johnny on the spot. The big number 2, Inuka Nuku. Try.
The whānau will be happy with that try. Excellent try by the hooker.
I think I might have seen a number 2 kick that ball in a test match on the weekend, or was that in a super game?
Yeah, might have been a super game, I'm not sure, but it's a rarity, mate, that the hooker puts a kick down like that and then scores the try to follow.
It was the Tongan prop in the New South Wales Lions game on Saturday night. He put in a big, massive clearing kick. Was it Taniela Tupou?
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't have to kick it far with the thighs that he's got on him, mate. He'll just rock it down the field. Here we go. Here's a try again. Nuku. He'll be watching this. He'll be telling all his boys, I did a chip kick, regathered, sidestepped the fullback.
His poor coach has been telling him all year to not kick the ball. And he's just generated some footage to show that it works.
Awesome try. Gets him back in the game, the Coasties, so it's 19-7 to the Eastern Bay of Plenyside. Excellent try. Just want to make sure that they hold this ball and get it back down the other end to the East Coast boys. Another big carry here. Want to hit that boy's number. He's a big man. Another good carry by the Coasties. Good strength shown there by the number 1, Cody Kennedy. Just need those backs to be running onto the ball there. They've just lost a few metres. Good defence though by Eastern Bay.
Yeah, there was a very good turnover penalty there by Eastern Bay. The Ngāti Porou East Coast support were just a little slow. And it just goes to show you cannot have a little bit of daylight between hitting the ground and your support players coming in. You run the risk now. Everybody's watched Duplessis Karifi do it on the TV. Everyone's a jackler now from 1 to 23.
Yeah, here we go here. Good defence. Look, just right up in their line. The number 11 from the Eastern Bay side, Peterson Amarua. Excellent play. Off the top from the Eastern Bay team. Big carry by the 19. Sean Harris. Nice pass out to the centre. Draw pass. Oh, unfortunate there. Number 22. Omaru Poihipi just stepped out. Nice draw pass there by the inside player.
I think the pass might have been a touch forward, but good enterprising play by Eastern Bay to get outside their defensive line and put some pressure on and cause Ngāti Porou East Coast to have to make some decisions.
East Coast ball. They'll be happy they've got the ball. They just want to clear it out of here, I think, just so that they can move away from their own line.
Yeah, they had a good exit off the kickoff. Let's see if they can exit again.
I think we spoke about it earlier, Pat. Some of these boys, these under 16s, are huge, for their age.
Yeah. That's why it's good to be in the commentary box and not running around.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Just a bit of a messy scrum there. Not sure what that penalty was for, Pat.
Yeah, I'm a little bit puzzled too. But hey, we move on. I'll kick for the corner. Now let's see if East Coast compete in the air or on the ground.
Yep. Eastern Bay ball. Oh, not sure what happened there. I don't think that was straight.
No, it was a comedy of errors. The thrower is standing on the mark, but both lines weren't lined up to the mark. The front jumper for Eastern Bay went up, and the hooker felt obligated to throw it. So he threw it in crooked to get it to him. Oh,
It's unfortunate.
comedy of errors. Yeah.
Here he is again, the big hooker, kicking it downfield.
And the referee's just giving the Ngāti Porou East Coast player a lesson on how to tap the ball in the game of rugby union. Slightly different than another code.
He must have a big boot on him, mate. Oh, Nuku Nuku, the hooker. Here he goes to him again. Nice.
Maybe he's a first five trapped in a number 2 body. Anyway,
Maybe.
we're back.
Here we go. Chip and chase by Collier. Just needs to bounce. Penalty there.
They're in front of the kicker and advancing. It's one of the interpretations that fell out of World Rugby this year was to be really hard on those players who are in front of the kicker. Not only do they have to stop, but they have to be moving backwards until they're put on side now.
Oh.
It's just to create a little bit more space. Otherwise, you get this aerial ping-pong game going because nobody is creating space.
He's slippery, this young boy Collier. Nice little chip in field. He might regather. Oh, might be the same call here.
Yeah, I think he just clipped the white line, or the blue line in this particular instance, as he was tiptoeing down the sideline.
Great run, though, there by the young Collier, the fullback for the Eastern Bay of Plenty. He's a little bit slippery. They just couldn't hang on to him.
If you're confused by the white lines and the blue lines, there's a league tournament here last week. The white lines are the rugby league lines, so the blue lines are what we're following today.
Big, huge carry here by the 18. He's had a great game. Turned over, though, by the East Coast.
Oh, bit of an injury up. Injury stoppage. All right.
I might have ripped his jersey off. He's not happy about it. The ref's asking him to go off.
I think he's seen some sort of head injury. He doesn't look particularly happy with it. But he's given Ngāti Porou East Coast the put-in.
That's an interesting call. Maybe we might have a look at the replay. We might see something, but not sure.
He was definitely saw something because he stopped the game straight away.
Yeah. Here it is here.
I think I might have seen it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Looks like he might have had a bit of a head knock there.
Yeah.
So good call by the referee. Is it the blue card they get now?
Yeah, I didn't see a card come out of his pocket. It might have just been a you might have to go and get your head looked at call.
Yeah. Another good scrum. Oh,
Tight head.
by the Eastern Bay team.
I think it might have been actually struck by the Eastern Bay hooker as well.
Few and far between the tight heads these days, but there we go. Eastern Bay of Plenty on the attack again. Nice long pass here. Out to the edge. Here he is, Collier. Just unlucky there. Might have been carried out in the corner.
Just a bit, just shy of the corner, I think. He was tackled into touch.
I think the ref's saying it's a line dropout.
Oh, did he go touch and goal?
Yeah, looks like it. Maybe. Here's the replay here. See a good view of it here. Here he goes. Oh, just didn't get it down. Might have got confused with the lines, maybe. Big kick downfield, though, by the East Coast. It's at the halfway. They go to the edge. Good toe here shown by the number 21. Look at him go. What a great individual try by Hato Collins Huriwaka.
Great try.
Excellent try down the edge. Not sure where the East Coast edge defence was. Really, that's going to have to be another replay. Because it was a fair kick. Here we go here. Gets on the outside of the first. There's no cover defence whatsoever.
And a big Hail Mary dive to finish it off.
Yeah, nice. Thought they might have had a bit of a try celebration like the NRLW. Not sure if you've been watching any of that. Every time they score, they've got a bit of a try celebration.
I saw one. I think the girls lined up and did a bit of a cheerleading dance.
Yeah.
Can't remember which team that was.
I think I saw one a couple of days ago where they did it and then the TMO said no try.
Oh, maybe they just needed the practice.
There he is there. Excellent try, though, by the number 21, Hato Collins Huriwaka, with a bit of a celebratory dive. I always wonder sometimes, though, how sore some of those dives must be after you get up.
Take it from someone who's done something silly in his younger days. Yeah. Rib cartilages take a long time to heal.
Oh, mate.
And when you know that you did it because you did something like that, you got no one else to blame.
There we go, excellent kickoff. Nice high kickoff there. Eastern Bay managed to secure it, though. Decides to kick it downfield. East Coast, excellent kick, though. Finds the sideline. Right on the halfway.
That's a very good exit by Eastern Bay. Good clearance kick. Right on the halfway line, an opportunity to put some pressure on the East Coast line out.
After this game, Whānau, we do have another game at 12:30. That's between the Eastern Bay under-18s and the Western Bay under-18s. So come back and jump on and check it right out. And then we do have a few other games after that. But really looking forward to what's coming up for the rest of the day. Big carry here by the number 3, new number 3 actually, Chatfield Rawiri. They did change some of their jersey numbers at halftime. Should have mentioned it earlier, but good look, little flick out the back, but it may have went forward. So, yeah, sorry, Whānau, the Eastern Bay did change some of their jerseys, but looks like the refs called it a day. Excellent win to the Eastern Bay of Plenty, 24 points to 7. Some big boys in both teams. Just unlucky that Ngāti Porou couldn't get on top. So excellent game by the Eastern Bay. Pat?
Yeah, it was a very good game. Well done, Ngāti Porou East Coast, for trying their hardest. They never gave up, but at the end of the day, Eastern Bay of Plenty 24 were too strong over Ngāti Porou East Coast 7. Well structured, couple of individual tries too, which helped. The game was there for the taking right up until that last try.
All right there, Whānau, that's the end of that game. We're coming up soon at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Bay under-18 boys versus the Western Bay under-18 boys. We'll be back soon.
never exhausted. And you cannot stop me. Nah, you cannot stop me.
The way that it go, God is good, but his life is hard. But it gets better when you grind it smart. I'm just really trying to leave a mark. We tired of being who they say we are. That's the baton, we gon' take it far. Always been real, we don't fake it all. Tired of 9 to 5, just make enough to survive. Only living on the weekends. You really thinking that's why I'm alive? Busting out the scenes, time to live my dreams, do the things deep inside of me. This life, it continues with fighting me, but I don't have quitting.